Herbs are often forgotten about in the garden, but if you grow a kitchen herb garden, it can take those vegetables that you grow to a whole new level. In this episode, I'm going to take you through everything that you need to know to grow a kitchen herb garden like a pro. I'm Tony O'Neill and this is Simplified Gardening. So before we go any further, what are herbs? Well, herbs are plants that have leaves, seeds or flowers that can be used in which to enhance the meals that you cook at home. They bring out those flavours. Now, a prime example would be to add a few sprigs of rosemary to that lamb. It will really bring out the lamb flavour that you're wanting for your meals, and herbs have the ability to do that. So where can you grow herbs? Well, you can grow them pretty much anywhere. You can grow them in pots, buckets, an old boot, a wheelbarrow, whatever you want to grow them in, or in a raised bed like I have here. Now, I built this raised bed from all of these stones that I dug out of the base of the old shed that I took down in the well-being garden, and you'll have seen me in that video pulling these stones out. And I've just recycled them here and I've made a raised bed for this herb garden. And I've planted them here because this area gets sun most of the day. Now, herbs, they like around 6 to 8 hours of full direct sun. They really do like that warmth coming down on them to do really well. Here, they get that all day long. And the great thing is they are shielded by the polytunnel so that the winds don't smash them, but they get all the sun that they require. So another thing I get asked a lot is, do herbs do better in pots or in the ground or raised beds like this? And I can tell you that for things like sage, rosemary, bay and things like that we have behind us, they're going to do better in the ground because they're much larger plants. But smaller things like parsley, thyme and those sorts of herbs, well, they can do better in pots too. So you can really grow pretty much what you want and in any format you want. The great thing is that they're quite forgiving plants in that aspect. Of course, when you're choosing the pots to grow in, this is only a little plant pot, but when you're choosing your pots, you need to choose the pot to the size that the full mature plant will be. So if it's going to be a large plant, then you need to put it in an appropriate container. It's no good putting something like that small thyme bush there into a 30-litre container because you're just going to cause the roots to rot off. But likewise, you don't want a sage in something of this size, so you need to pick appropriately for that, and bear in mind about watering later on too. So some plants like the bay, the sage and some of the others, they will come back every single year. They're perennial. And then there are other herbs that are annual, things like basil and dill. So these plants will need to be resown every year and then put back out in the garden. Something else I'm asked a lot is, what's the best soil for herbs? Do I need special potting soils, potting compost, things like that? And the great news for most people is that your normal garden soil is going to be fine for herbs, and the reason for that is because they are quite forgiving. There's only one amendment you need to make for your herb bed, and that is lots of drainage. You need to add in some grit or perlite depending on how you're growing. In a bed like this I added a lot of grit, but in containers you may want to add some perlite, and that's to aid in the drainage because herbs don't like their feet sat in water. When pruning herbs, it's really important to keep on top of the pruning. Don't let them get too big and woody, because if you do, when you do prune back those herbs, they're gonna get too woody, they're gonna look really draggly, and you're gonna end up with a real poor plant. Keep them cut back on a regular basis. You're gonna get lots of new growth all of the time, and then it's going to allow you to keep compact plants. The other thing about when pruning herbs, if you've got any woody stems, you cannot cut back into that wooded stem. Herbs only grow on new growth. So if you're going to cut back, pick a piece of the plant that's just above the wood and cut back to 1 or 2 leaves above that wooded area, and that'll give the plant plenty of time. Another thing about pruning is don't take more than 1/3 of the plant at any one time, because you will stress the plant out and that potentially could put it into seed. Fertilizing herbs is really easy to do because they're not hungry plants and they don't require lots of fertilization. But if you give them a feed every 4 to 6 weeks, that'd be perfect for them. And that can be a seaweed feed or like a half-strength tomato feed will do these really good and keep that new growth coming. Now, when it comes to watering, herbs as a rule are quite hardy plants and they only really require a weekly watering. However, herbs like basil, well, they're going to require a daily watering. But if you're growing them alongside your tomatoes like a lot of people do, well, you aren't going to worry about this because you're going to be watering your tomatoes, and treat your basil the same way you would your tomatoes. Give it regular feeding, which will give it lots of new growth and leaves, things like that. But for the thymes and the basils and the rosemary and things like that, they don't require so much water because they'll push their roots down. Now, as with all plants, you're much better to water deeply once a week than water shallow every single day, and the reason for that is that water gets down and it forces the roots to go after it. That makes it much better in drought conditions because the roots are not sat at the surface layer and they don't dry out, especially with the clays and things, soils like that. All right, the other thing that would be really good for herbs would be a drip irrigation, because that forces the water to go down and it doesn't evaporate, so it just sends a little drip down, 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 and it creates a column of moisture that the roots can follow, and that's a really good way. And it's fantastic because it saves water too, rather than watering a whole bed like this. Now, when it comes to mulching, as you can see here, I am using wood chips, and these wood chips are fantastic as a mulch for herbs. And the reason for that is because they will slowly break down and they will feed the ground beneath it. And to be honest with you, these herbs will benefit from that over and over and over again. It suppresses weeds, so there's no competition for the nutrients and the moisture, and it also creates a good bed for the foliage to sit on. Now, herbs can suffer from many diseases and pests such as black fly, aphids, slugs, downy mildew, spider mites, and even blight. And so it's important in order to control those and make sure that you're not having the issues. And the way you plant them, well, that can help. Firstly, give them plenty of room. As you can see here, all these plants are well spaced, and they're spaced for a reason, because when they're spaced out, there's good airflow, and that airflow, a lot of things like the downy mildew for a start, well, that'll be non-existent, and things like spider mites, they don't like that airflow. You know, when everything's enclosed together, then that's when you have issues. Here, there's a lot of airflow. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. And when you've done that, and you want to learn how to control the slugs and other pests that can damage your herbs, well, this is the next video that you should watch. I'm Tony O'Neill. This is Simplified Gardening, where I show you how to garden in a simpler way. Remember, folks, you reap what you sow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.